Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grumman Pilot's YouTube channel. And today is Hangar Flying Episode 1. We've been planning this for about a year. We came up with the floor plan of what Hangar Flying was going to be and a list of topics we would cover with Ask the Maintenance for solving maintenance issues. Now, what gave the idea for Hangar Flying was that during a normal week, all the issues that I cover by answering phones, emails, text, for people who have problems with their Grummans, and we thought that it would be a nice weekly series if I just would maintain a list of what happened that week, and we would cover it at the end of the week on a Friday evening. Unfortunately, in the first week, I sent the list to Mark Matthews, and his suggestion was there were several weeks of episodes there, and that gelled the idea, and here we are today. So stay tuned for some more fun. We're going to finish up with the Tiger move. That's where we're going today, so stay tuned for more on that. So we would like to ask you please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notify to stay current with our content. So we were finishing up with the Tiger move last evening when we had to take off the tail. Now, you can do that in the middle of a soybean field in Illinois in the dark with minimal tools. Don't ask me how I know that. But the tail is off the airplane because we didn't want to file for a wide load to bring the airplane down. And then you don't take a chance of somebody hitting the elevator, breaking a bond in the back. So all in all, it was much better to have the airplane ready to go on the trailer. Now, we prepared for that move, and the trailer was also serviced because, let me tell you, when you're hauling an airplane, it's no fun to have your trailer break down during the process. So that was all accomplished. And so first thing yesterday morning, this would be the Friday report on the show, is the loading actually began. So a lot of the airplanes were moved out of the way. A trailer was backed up to the hangar so that the airplane could be properly loaded. And then with that process going on, you can see the airplane's hooked up to a tow bar, and then it's winched onto the airplane along with some people guiding along the way. Ramps for the nose, ramps for the main. Not hard to do when you've done it a few times before. So anyway, the loading process goes along, and we eventually get the airplane to a point where it's ready to go. And we've put the air in the tires, everything's been cinched up. Now we're guiding along the way. You might also notice that we've maxed off the ends of the spar to keep the grease from getting over everybody. But then eventually you reach a point where the aircraft is actually sitting on the trailer. Now at this point, you don't release everything because you come back and you chock all the wheels. And then you go, wow, we got that part done. Now you can disassemble the ramps. And you might have noticed that we also had, in this case, we had a van, an enclosed trailer, where we're going to put the tail and the wings and the other bits that we need to take with us down as we move the aircraft. Now, you can actually, in these trailers, if you take one wheel and turn it around inside or use brackets, you can actually put an entire airplane in like a U-Haul or a Penske truck. But anyway, here's everything secured. It's all been padded and locked down. So now it's ready for the move. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be checking everything. We're going to rattle everything. We're going to ride it on the airport for about a mile. Then we're going to check to make sure that everything's riding properly. And then once we get out on the road, we're pretty secure that we had all our straps cinched down and that nothing was going to move or going to abrade or cause any problems for us. So we finally reached that point. Now we have the airplane loaded and it's completely strapped down, and we're going to go, okay, now's the time that we start moving it out of the hangar. Now, as part of that, we have the trailer all loaded. We have the aircraft all cinched up, and we've already done our ride around. While we were guiding this going on, Hopscotch and I were on the back porch talking to the company with the trailer, making sure that everything happened flawlessly. That was our job part of today. And then you hit the road. Now, the thing about hitting the road is once you ride on the highway for about 3 to 5 miles, Garner and I always guess about that, is you want to pull over and you want to check the loading to make sure none of the straps have moved. You're not having any chafing into the paint. And if you've done a good job, it'll go well. And as you'll notice from that video, we weren't actually moving on the interstate. We were taking the back roads because you can travel a lot slower on a back road than you can trying to push everything along at 65 on the interstate. So all the planning paid off, and we eventually arrived at the destination in front of its new hangar, and we began the process of getting it off the trailer and backing it into the new hangar. We did have 3 additional helpers today, and it's better to have too many helpers than not enough, especially when they're experienced aircraft movers, because you don't want to get it all the way here and then put a dent or ding in it. So anyway, as you can see, we're backing it into the hangar, and then we'll begin the fun process of, unloading the trailer, getting everything in its slings and racks, and then we'll probably go out to lunch because it's early in the afternoon. But then we're going to begin the survey process of going through the aircraft and seeing what we have to work with. Now, you may have noticed that the wings were awfully dirty, and that's because we were not going to use any abrasive like water or Windex to clean them. We were going to hose them off. Now, once we've gotten the airplane loaded, as you can see here, we're just closing it out by shutting the door. We have some storms in the area. But as a fitting in, we're just going to be shutting the door. You can watch the camera adjust, and there you go. The airplane's safely in the hangar. Doesn't look too bad from this view. From the corner view, it doesn't look too bad either. So after lunch was had, then Shop Monkey came back to the airport and he washed the wings. We wanted to see what kind of condition the paint of the wings were in. Were there any stains that we might have to worry about? None found, we're thankful to say. So the wings get washed. All the glass got washed in the airplane because we know it's probably original glass. It's been stored in a nice place, but we want to take a look at it. So after it was all clean, we looked very hard at all the windows, and we found that it is the original glass. It is the green. It was put in at the factory way long time ago, and it's in really good shape. However, we are going to find out that one window is having a little bit of crazing, and so because of that, we ordered all new glass for the aircraft because, again, this is almost 50-year-old glass, and if we're going to be selling somebody an airplane, we're going to want to have the nice newest glass in there. It won't have any imperfections in it, and at the same time we're also going to go with a more modern color, solar gray, which helps keep the UV down and helps keep the cabin temperature a little lower in cruise when you're up at altitude, letting all that in. But a quick survey of the glass, we went out and we ordered ours today, so it's already on the way here, and then we will be putting all that in there, and we'll be fitting all the glass and taking it all out and making a changeover. At the same time, we'll be looking at all the interior plastic. We know that we're going to redo the interior, but here's the crazed window. It doesn't look too bad from the outside. You look around the edge, but it's a little cloudy when you look through it. Wasn't happy with that, and there's this one little crazing spot, which means if it's crazing, more is going to be crazing. So again, all the glass has been ordered, and we know that we're going to be changing that. As we were doing all of that, we began to work on a list. So let's take a look at the list. And now we've already talked about the glass. We've got that on order. But then we began looking at the airplane, and we go, new air vents. I know where to get those. Roscoe has those at Yankee Aviation. We're going to go down and we're going to add some push-to-talks. But, the conversation revolved around that. We even peeked into the engine compartment, as you will see, and yes, those are some hoses that are expired, and we're going to be ordering a full set of lifetime hoses. But then the conversation worked around to, what are we going to do about the panel? I mean, it's a nice panel, but Jimmy Candeletti is working on an airplane right now that has a full Dynon panel in it, and as you can see, that's a pretty full panel. Including installation. We are actually thinking about, when we get the airplane to a point, that we're going to fly it to the shop and we're going to have an entire new panel put in that airplane. We're going with all new glass. We're going with all new interior. So we figure, why not redo the panel? The paint is in really good shape. Now let me talk a little bit about buying an airplane. We mentioned in a video when we talked about this as the project airplane that we're going to be running for a while, that we had people contact us. One guy wants to be put on the list to buy it, and he is at the top of that list. There are others below him now, but we've also been contacted by people who just wanted to buy the airplane from us. We could have turned a quick profit, but they wanted this really pretty cream puff airplane. She's a cherry. I mean, she is gorgeous. Never been abused. Always been cared for by a Grumman shop. That would be John Maestre in Brookville, Ohio. You might remember his IA, Bill Hatton. But anyway, the airplane's been well maintained. It's in good shape. We're going to go through it. But there were people who were saying, like, come on, Roscoe, I'll give you $5,000 and I'll just take it right now. I've been looking for a Tiger. They're hard to come by. And if you bought it, it must be in good shape. But I've been talking to Jimmy we've been helping Jimmy, along with Ken's help back in the day, to get airplanes restored better than factory new. I've been wanting to do one. I was in the process of getting that almost to the point of my Tiger. I mean, when I sold it, we had a new engine in it, new glass, new interior, a bunch of stuff. It needed paint and it needed the panel reworked. But I've been wanting to do a better than factory new restoration for a while. And so that's why I wanted to hang on to this aircraft. I'm not looking around just to let somebody buy a Tiger. Whoever buys this Tiger is going to get a really nice airplane. And we'll talk about that more down the road. Okay, let's get back to the list. So we did a survey of the engine compartment. We did a survey of the cabin. We kind of looked everywhere in the airplane, including the wings, but we came up with some new things that we needed. One, the baffles need to be repainted. They need new baffle seals. We need new fuel cap gaskets. This aircraft does have it's a late 78, so it does have the 79 fuel caps. We need a new battery, air vents, step plugs. We're going to want to put an engine management system go in with a new engine. Either that's going to be a JPI or the new Dynon panel. We're going to put in some stainless steel tie-down rings to replace the rusted ones. We're going to have to replace all the glass. Doesn't matter if the windshield is debonded right now. New battery. We're going to probably put in a new ELT. We're going to repaint all the interior plastic. We're going to replace the wing root seals. We're going to put in push-to-talks. We're going to redo the gear legs. We're going to redo the cabin light plastic. We're going to put in some blue sky sun visors. And we've already talked about the hoses. So that's not bad for a day of moving an airplane and doing the initial survey after cleaning it. So that's where we're starting from on this project. And we're going to, once a week on Friday, we're going to do our hangar flying. And we're going to talk about the progress and what we've done and why we have done it during the week, so that those of you who are thinking about a restoration will have a good guideline of what you need to do to achieve it. So folks, I know this has been long-winded, but this is our first episode, so we hope you found all this useful and informative. Thanks so much for watching and listening, and have a great day flying your Grumman. And in addition, there's a little treat about 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm doing web work and other stuff. Here's my cat coming down, playing with a mouse and meowing and just having a good time with me in the wee hours of the night. So I thought I would throw this into you as a little treat. Y'all please enjoy.